Welcome students. So today we are going to just develop one more program, and the program is, what we are going to do is we're going to accept a number from the user. For example, n is equal to 1 2 3 4. That's the 4-digit number, and what we are going to do is we're going to reverse this number. So output will be, my output should be, it should be 4321, and that is what we're going to do. We're going to accept the number from the user and we're going to reverse that number. How to do that? Let's begin. So I'm going to remove this and let us start the program. I'm going to say n int, because it has to be a number and not a string. Okay, so int input, and I'm going to give a message, enter a number. So that is the first line of code, and let me just give a proper comment for accepting a number n. Okay, so that's the comment for the following line of code for accepting a number n, and that's the line of code. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a variable sum is equal to 0. Let us give a comment for this as well. So sum, I'm going to say variable sum will store the sum value. Okay, and you will come to know exactly what it is. So that's one more variable, that is sum, and I've given this as capital S because small s, there is already a function in Python, so you please need to give this as capital S. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether while n not equal to 0, and I'm going to use a while loop. Okay, so you can simply say at this moment start of while loop, the colon, and that's the condition, and the condition is n not equal to 0. Let me give spaces over here and over here, so that is more readable. And what I'm going to do out here is I'm going to divide n, or first I'm going to collect the remainder. So I'm going to divide n by 10 and collect the remainder. So this is going to divide and going to collect a remainder, and that I shouldn't be doing it in n, or let me have a temp variable, so temp is going to have the remainder, and then I'm going to say sum is equal to sum plus temp. Okay, so what is going to happen out here is, if I divide the number, suppose that number is 1 2 3 4, divide that number by 10, the remainder is going to be 4 for the first time, and that 4 I'm going to assign to temp, and then I'm going to say sum is equal to sum plus temp. So sum is 0, 0 plus 4, so that is 4, that goes to sum again. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say n is equal to n and the floor division 10. So this is going to divide n by 10 again. See, over here we divided n by 10, but that value of remainder goes to n, so nothing changed in n, please understand this. Okay, but over here what is going to happen, I'm going to divide n by 10 and the quotient is going to go again back to n. So if I divide, that is the number is 1 2 3 4 by 10, so the quotient is going to be 123, isn't it? So if the number is 1234, remainder will be 4 and the quotient will be 123, and that goes again in sum. Now the value of sum got changed. Okay, and then what I need to do is nothing basically. This is going to solve the problem, and I'm going to say print outside the while loop. I'm going to print the sum. Now what is going to happen in the first step, in the first iteration? Sum, okay, let me have this. So n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happened over here is temp got the value that was 4. Why 4? Because if I divide this number by 10, remainder is going to 4, quotient is going to be 123. So that 4 comes into temp, sum plus temp, that is 4. So sum became what? 4. And then I say n is equal to n, that is the floor division 10, so that becomes 123. And then again that condition gets checked, it's not equal to 0, yes, again I divide n by 10, the remainder this time will be 3, right? If I divide 123 by 10, the remainder will be 3, and then that, okay, over here this will not work. I need a better logic. Okay, this is not going to work. Okay, what I need to do over here is, if I need to reverse that number, then I need to multiply this by 10. No, I need to multiply this by 10. Okay, and so that is going to be 0. Okay, let me just run this. Let me just check my logic first. Enter the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the answer is 4, 3, 2, 1. So that has worked. So this is the logic. Okay, this is the logic. So what it is going to do is, at the first time n was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1234, and temp was nothing, so leave it, and then, or we can just assign temp to 0 initially. Okay, this is a part of the code, and now temp is equal to 0, and sum was 0, right? So what happened over here? This is not equal to 0, since n is the number not equal to 0, so that number divided by 10, I am collecting the remainder, that is the mod. So temp is going to be 4. Okay, and then I say sum is equal to sum into 10. So what is sum into 10? Some value of sum is 0, so this becomes 0 completely plus temp. So what is the value of the sum? Will be 4, that is 0 plus 4, right? And then I'm dividing it and collecting the quotient part, so n is going to be 123. Again that goes and checks 123 not equal to 0, yes. Again I'm dividing that by 10, so I'm going to have the last number. Okay, so temp is going to have 3, and then what is going to happen over here? Over here, sum into 10, so sum is 4, 4 into 10 is 40, plus temp, that is what? 3, so that will make it 43, right? That is going to make this as 43, because sum was 4, 4 into 10 is 40, plus 3, 43. And then again I divide it, collect the quotient, so next time it is going to be 12. Divide that by 10, I am going to have remainder as 2. And now this time it is 40, sum is 43, 43 into 10 is 430, plus temp, that is 2. So that makes it 432, 432, right? And then again n is going to be 1 this time, so it is not equal to 0, so this is, temp is going to be not divisible, so temp is going to have basically 1, and over here the final answer will be 4321, right? And if I divide this next time, okay, the quotient is going to be 0, and then the loop breaks, right? Because it is not divisible, so it is 0, it is going to be break. and then I print the sum value. So what is the final value of sum? That is 4321. So we have reversed that number, isn't it? We have reversed that number. And now what we can do is we can also convert this program into a palindrome. The word is palindrome. What is a palindrome? Palindrome is something, if I talk about a number, so if you read it from the right hand side or from the left hand side, it is going to be the same. For example, number like 1221 is a palindrome. So if you read it from the right or from the left, it is the same number, 1221 1221. Right, such a number will be called as a palindrome number. There is something called as palindrome string also, but we're going to see that later on. Okay, so we can convert this program into a palindrome program. So what I'm going to say is, so I need to check whether the number is a palindrome or not. Now using the same logic, I can just enhance this program and check whether the number is palindrome or not. So how I'm going to do that is simply I'm going to collect n, and then I'm going to store this n into m. So I'm assigning the value of n to m. So m is going to have the original value of n. Over here the value of n is going to be 0 ultimately, but then outside the loop what I'm going to do is, just a minute. Okay, outside the loop what I'm going to do is, if I'm simply going to say m, which is holding that original value, if that is equal to sum, isn't it? Because sum is going to have the number which is a reverse number, and if the original number is equal to the sum number which is a reverse number, if they still match, which means that the number is a palindrome. So I'm going to say the number is a palindrome. Okay, and then let us give a else part, else print the number is not a palindrome, right? So now if I give the number 1 2 3 4, it says the number is not a palindrome. Okay, let me give one more number, 1 2 3 2 1, and now you can see it's a palindrome, 1 2 3 2 1. I read it from the right or from the left, it's the same, and it says the number is a palindrome. So this is, working successfully with just a small activity, just for your practice. You can do it, children. So this is how you can develop your programs. I'm keeping it short because you have your exams, and let us see where we will be starting with a revision. But for today I've just developed a program which will be useful for your upcoming exams, so you can go ahead and practice it. Okay, so tomorrow let's see, we can move further or we can start with the revision. I will just think over it, because okay, it's a very simple chapter that we have gone through. Only the number system is something that maybe once we can go through, that is the number system. So let us go with the number system. We will just take a revision of the number system and Python. Okay, so we will do that from tomorrow. So that's it for today. Bye for now.